Hello, everyone. Spartan Nation, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate all your support. We're really excited about tonight's town hall. I'm Rob Clark, Deputy Director of Athletics Development, and we are thrilled to have you on here. We're going to be talking about some great things with the Spartan Athletics Center, and including many of your questions that you've sent in, as well as One Spartan Nation. And we're very thrilled about the response so far, and hope we can answer your questions as we go along. We're going to start off by hearing from our Director of Athletics, Marie Tuitt. Marie, the time is now yours.
Hi, everyone. Hi, One Spartan Nation. Yes, I'm showing off my roses. Can you see those? They're blue and gold roses. How special is that, huh? I've never seen blue roses before. Okay, so I realized earlier today that we haven't been together for a while now, and I just want you to know we've really missed you. And how about, being the 2020 Mountain West football champions? We get to say that for a full year. I just want you to know how much we appreciate your support during the fall. It was a grind. I mean, we were climbing that mountain, but we felt your spirit. We knew you were cheering for us. We knew you were yelling at the officials when you needed to, and we just really appreciate your support. I thought I would take just a few minutes to kind of update you on what's happening in the world of athletics. First of all, we're coming off the strongest academic showing of our 22 teams, I think, in the history of our department. Our overall GPA for our 22 programs was 3.2. Very, very excited about the academic work our students did this fall, so that's great. Our COVID testing continues and is very, very robust. We have done thousands of tests in the last month without any positives, which is good news. I think some of you know that we had to put our baseball program on pause. We did have a flare-up, as we refer to it, but they're getting ready to come back. They'll be practicing their first practice at the end of the month, the 27th, and we couldn't be more excited for our baseball program. But overall, we're managing 22 sports, and everyone's back. And although, unfortunately, our women's basketball team's not competing, they're back. They're doing individual skill instruction and working out. Football's back. Their first day of reports, March 27th, with the spring game on May 1st, so mark your calendars for that. But last weekend was a big weekend. We had 6 or 7 sports competing. Our swim team was at the Mountain West Championship. Men's water polo was down in LA playing Pepperdine, and softball was over at Stanford. Men's basketball was hosting UNLV. Men's soccer won at Dixie State, which was awesome. Women's tennis has won twice now. They just beat Sac State yesterday. So my point is that this very robust and vibrant athletics program is moving forward. And I got to tell you, these student athletes are so happy. They are happy, happy, happy. Happy to be able to practice and compete and be with their teammates and do it, within the safest environment that we can create. And we got a busy couple months coming up because everybody will be competing on some weekends, and it's going to be crazy and it's going to be awesome. Please refer to the website for all the live streams that we'll be doing. Really appreciate your support. I forgot volleyball. Volleyball was competing last weekend too, so I'm sure I forgot somebody. And every time I forget somebody texts me and says you forgot such and such. Just know that it's a really exciting time here. And we are incredibly excited for fall of 2021. It's going to be epic. I'm just telling you, that's the word for 21. Fall 2021 is epic. And tonight we want to talk to you a little bit about what's happening with the Spartan Athletic Center, and then, as Rob mentioned, with One Spartan Nation. I really want to thank Rob and his team for all the hard work and the lift in getting One Spartan Nation off. We'll be able to answer some of your questions tonight. But I'm going to turn the program over to Charlie Foz. I think most of us in athletics and our fan base know who Charlie is. I'll tell you, no matter every single step of success that this athletics program has had and continues to have, Charlie is a part of it. And I'll tell you right now, I don't ever want to be the athletics director here without Charlie by my side. He's just moves mountains for us. Some that is very visible, and some you have no idea how he's moved them. So I'm going to turn this over to Charlie, and he's going to talk about the Spartan Athletic Center. Thank you for joining us, Charlie.
My pleasure, guys. It's great to be helping out the athletics team. This is what I do. It's my job. So I'm thrilled to be here at San Jose State doing this. I have a presentation that Rob's going to nod his head that he can see on the screen. Right, Rob? Okay. So first, I want to start out where we started. And I'll be honest with you. I've been here 5 years now. And so where we started is where I started. All right. And I think that's almost the beginning for everybody in athletics, by the way, too. Some general South Campus updates around the South Campus. And then let's get into the meat of it with the Spartan Athletic Complex and the design, the process, and showing you some of the floor plans that's going on there. So just 5 years ago, when you look at what South Campus looked like, all right, and this is what the definition of a train wreck would be. So I think that's if you look it up. You know, we had our softball and baseball fields that were in pretty much disarray. Our tennis courts were a shamble. The track, you know, hadn't been touched in 50 years. You know, this was a parking lot / soccer field that was over in here, and big dirt piles, you know, in this corner of the campus. And systematically, and it started with Jean and continued here with Marie, developing a master plan that we are executing on every single day in South Campus. And when you're in this day by day and week by week, you kind of look at it and said, come on, we got to get moving. We got to get moving. We got to do more. But when you stop and look at it and you say, what have we done over the 5 years? This whole section is now, I was just down there today, gorgeous golf facility, absolutely stunning. That is the envy of most college programs across the country. In this area, we have a brand new, for our parking garage, and I'll show you, beautiful parking garage, 1,500 spots that's going to service our football field, our football games, all of our sports. We're going to be able to drive revenue through that, through the Sharks events that are across the street and the Giants events across the street. In the middle here, we have a gorgeous new rec field that our student athletes are going to, you know, regular student athletes for club sports and rec sports are going to be able to play on. Up in this corner is going to be our baseball practice field. I'll show you some renderings of that. Over in here, now we have lighted, soon to have bleachers, soccer field for our men's and women's soccer, beautiful area. We have beach volleyball in here, championship tennis, whole new tennis complex through here, gorgeous softball field, batting cages in here now. We have our new, and I was just there as well today with our softball coaches, a new softball tennis building for our women's sports down there. And then this whole area through here is now being cleared, and you'll see pictures of that, and a new scoreboard up in the top here going through, and the Spartan Athletic Center. That's going to be coming in here in a couple of years and groundbreaking. We've had a number of moving of benches and what have you, but actual dirt being moved, steel going up is going to happen starting this summer. And so absolutely thrilled about those things. So, you know, other highlights down on the South Campus, from the football field, when you're sitting in the bleachers looking across this season, you'll be able to see this is what the parking garage looks like. Branded for San Jose State, really sharp looking with its colors. In the evening, it's all lit up, and this is the practice field for the rec facilities that we have down there. So really, really nice stuff. The scoreboard that we all got to see on TV, and Rob was going through making sure our high-end donors were getting time on that scoreboard in front of our players, but no fans in the stands. So this state-of-the-art scoreboard, absolutely stunning, almost as big as Avaya Stadium, really sharp looking as you go. Two sides on this thing, good looking. And then the rest of the stadium, the hill is gone. You know, it's all, you know, dirt through there. It's all level. I was literally driving through this area today. So very, very exciting stuff. The Other things, that Marie kind of alluded to down on South Campus. We installed garage doors along the Corrette workout facility, and that opened up at the beginning of this year. That enabled our football team and the rest of our sports to be practicing, working out, lifting throughout the fall. And that enabled Brent and the team to do the things that they did on the field. Spartan Beach opened up last spring, and the gals were playing down there. It looks great, the facility, nice sunny day. We went and put scoreboards in throughout the South Campus. And so before we had a ragtag set of scoreboards, now they all look the same, have same look and feel, really, really sharp. And then as you're tailgating on the park and ride lot come next fall, you'll see there's going to be some shade for you. And shade for you, and it's power for me. And so this is how we're powering our scoreboard and some of our lights and what have you down on South Campus, is through these solar panels as we go. Baseball, so great things happening. Rob and Marco and the team really put their shoulder to it and got the fundraising going. We have the money that we need. We're breaking ground now. You go out there today, you see guys moving some dirt through here. There's some wells that we're moving around, but the field will go in. This has the possibility for us to expand it later on to literally put a 4,000 seat baseball stadium around that. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We're going to get the practice field in first, but there are future plans here. When we have money, we have donors that come forward. There's some exciting things that can happen on this corner of Humboldt and 10th Street. So let's get into the Spartan Athletic Complex and this game-changing, really when you look at what's happening on our whole campus, as the president and I talk about this, there are 3 buildings that are going to be changing how San Jose State is viewed locally, nationally. Those 3 buildings, first is our science building that's going up right now, 8-story science building on the main campus, state-of-the-art, largest science building in all of the CSU. It's absolutely stunning and going to be opening up in a little over a year, year and a half. Really looking forward to that. That's the first academic building built on the campus in 30 years. Crime that hasn't, no other academic buildings have been put up in that 30-year time frame, but we're getting it done. Second one is what we call on campus here the Alquist building. It's faculty staff housing that's going to be happening at the old State Alquist building across from the Hammer Theater, enabling our faculty and staff to be able to live and reside close to the campus, be able to go to our sporting events, go to the activities that are on the campus. And then the third one, and it fits right with these other 2, is our Spartan Athletic Complex. It's going to be that much of a game changer, not just for football, not just for soccer, and those are the 2 main sports that are in there, but it's just going to have a complete makeover of our stadium. And so what you'll see is essentially half of the stadium has gotten remodeled. And we've done it in an affordable, responsible way that is going to, and in line with Brent and the football team, as well as the soccer coaches, that they've all had their hand in the design of this building and how it flows, how it works. And the architects from HOK, world-class sports architects, have come in and really put these renderings together. So the renderings that I believe most folks have seen, but we'll get into inside of the building that a lot of people haven't seen. So again, white model, but it is this semicircle shape that kind of mirrors the opposite side. So the east side from a rounding side will look similar from the air as the 2 sides. But what you're going to see is certain nuances that we're pulling in that I'll say are San Jose State, or what we want to be known for, or what we want to be recruiting with. Palm trees all around the building. Same thing that you see when you walk down our 7th Street Promenade on our main campus. So really trying to tie the main campus into the South Campus as we go. We are putting family seating. This whole area in South Campus, to me, is the largest family entertainment zone on the West Coast. Between the Sharks and the Giants with their facilities, but our 80 acres of sports facilities down here, it's a family entertainment zone. And so we want to have families We want to have kids being able to sit on these, on the berm in non-fixed seating. Now, some of you have asked, how many people can sit over here? There's someplace around 1,000 or so. We have fire marshal restrictions. So the way it's set up is around 1,000 people. We have unique areas of this building that, on the outside, you see all these outdoor suites. And, we'll zoom in later on, but you'll see these suites, they're tents. And the key part about the design of this building is the sun sets in the west. Most of us sit on that west side of the stadium, and we put the visiting team on the east side so the sun is in their eyes as they're sitting on the field. Sometimes it's 100 degrees out there and they're baking over there because even in this picture, you see the shade is on the west side of the building. That's the home field advantage. We don't want to have a ton of seating on this side because it's kind of like if you go to a 49ers game and you're sitting on the sun side of the stadium, you see that in the afternoon, people are not sitting there. It's not a good game day experience. So we're trying to optimize what we have with the shade of these tents. You see the overhangs on the building so that it's blocking the sun at the best angle we can block and still have good sight lines onto the field. You see a rendering of the new scoreboard up here. What you're going to see going forward is behind the scoreboard is our visiting team locker room today. In the future, that's going to be in the back end of this of the Spartan Athletic Complex. We'll be able to knock down that building and open up this whole area to be a game day experience for everyone coming to our football games. So today, you do your tailgating over typically in the 7th Street parking lots. We're going to have 2 parking areas now, 7th Street area that you can do your tailgating in, and Rob and the team will talk about that more later. And then you also have the 10th Street garage that's over on the opposite side I showed you the picture of. And either way, you'll be able to come down Stadium Way on this north side of the stadium, being able to access the football field. So with that, flipping it around so you see the opposite side, so you see this rounded nature. This is going to enable us to have very easy access over to the soccer fields. And so it was designed such that the soccer team can get in and out of the building and the visiting soccer teams can go back and forth here. So multi-use. Some of these block buildings that you see over here will eventually go away. And so this is maintenance sheds. We're going to move all the maintenance out of here and hopefully upgrade the bathrooms and the concessions that are on this side of the building as well. As we zero in and get a little closer at this building, this is where you see these tented areas to block the sun, to have a nice, relaxing outdoor suite-like experience outdoors. You see up on here the balconies. This is all private suites, and Rob and the team will be able to talk to you in another year or so about prices on those suites and what can go on. But this whole area, this will be an LED scoreboard that's going across, so it will be very interactive. Big scoreboard that'll match, energy that we have with our new current scoreboard in the end zone. This whole end of the building, you'll see in my diagrams in a second, are football team offices that are going to double as suites on game day. And then this side over here is more of a gold room experience or group donor experience on this terrace that's on this side. So let's get into the inside of the building on the first floor. And this is a pretty small diagram. So I'm going to zero in and really get into the football side of this because I think that's where most of the interest has been. So you zero in and you see the large football locker room. Again, designed through Ben and through Brent and through the football coaches you have this center area so that you can have large gatherings. The coach can be in the center and be able to communicate with everyone going around that locker room. Players will come in and out to the stadium through this north entrance over here. They'll be able to come in. There'll be all the equipment rooms, everything that are underneath the ground here, on the stadium side. All the lockers are over here, bathrooms, wet rooms, all those spaces. You have the whole sports medicine side in the center. So it's all the pools, the training tables, all that goes in the center. This is all co-ed because the men's and women's soccer are on this side over here. So Rob bathing suit required. It's the main entrance, to this building. So the players will come in from the side, but as a VIP, as someone that's invited into this building, and it's an invite into the building only, you would come in through this main entrance. So you would either take the semicircle from Spartan Way, or we'll have a small VIP parking lot that's on the south side of this building as well. So now, the soccer side, you see men's soccer, you see women's soccer, and there's some open areas. The open areas are so that we can lock down some of the soccer locker rooms for those soccer teams, so they're protected, privileged for those guys and gals. But they also will double as our visiting team locker room on those 6 game days that we have. Coaches' locker rooms are over here as well. Men's, women's, coach, staff have their facilities in here. Second floor of the building, and Rob, I got about 3 more slides, so we're running down here. And I'm going to zero in on these spaces here. So with that, you see the various team rooms. So whether it's offensive line or tight ends or head coach's office, running backs, cornerbacks, offense, defense. So each of these groups has their different rooms. And these rooms have movable furniture so that they will all open up to the balcony, and so that they can be suites during a game day. But every other day, they get used by the football team as we go through. Team offices all around the outside wall here facing the other facilities. The real showcase moment of this building is going to be the large 2-story auditorium that's in the center here. This auditorium seats about 150 people. And it has a large open space for coaches for teaching and movies and video up in the front. But also behind that, you see this large football lounge. Again, dual purpose. Everything you're going to see here in this building has 2 or 3 uses as we go. This is a football lounge. This is for our football players after practice, before practice, in the evenings. It's a space to relax, crash, enjoy. But on those 6 Saturdays when they're out fighting on the field, this becomes a party lounge for the rest of us. And so this becomes a lounge that has access to the outdoor suite that's out here. Players will be able to eat out in the outdoor space. They also have dining over here, large dining facilities. So this will be the kitchen area for cooking kitchen, so that all of our sports teams will have food and beverages available down in the South campus. You see soccer offices for men and women here, and men's where you can't see it here. Beyond Football has a nice big suite that's in here, and Tobruk and her team got great accolades from Coach, during his announcement for Coach of the Year. Large video room, video access that's in here as well. So now I want to drill in a couple more slides here. This is another big football school that's back east that you might be able to see who that is. But this is what their auditorium looks like. So ours is going to look something like this, or one of these Midwest football powers. So something like this. So the idea that it has a divide in the middle of the locker room. So you'll be able to put the offense on one side, the defense on the other side, and have soundproofing for the coaches to do their video and the training as they go. And then lastly, because it's all about Brent, this is what it looks like from Brent's view on the sideline as we look across on a game day to the new Spartan Athletic Complex. It's going to be a stunning building. It's going to fit with the other things that we have down in South Campus. Where our capacity for the whole stadium is still going to be north of 25,000 people. And we get to the point where that stadium is full and rocking. We'll talk about putting bleachers in along that berm and filling those spots in as we go. Rob, hopefully that addressed the questions that I tried to weave all those in that came in through the mail. And
yeah, I think so. We did have several fans that asked about the permanent seating on the east side, and you just mentioned that. right now on game day, it looks like, here's the question: how would you access this on game day in terms of suites and club seats and other?
Sure. So let's go back to the screen here. And so on a game day, you would be parking over in the park and ride over on the west side, or you'd be parking over here in the new parking facility. You would come down Stadium Way, which is the road that cuts through our South Campus between 7th and 10th Streets. And the food trucks are on there. The scoreboard is back here. This will be the entrance into the stadium in this side in 2 years. And so you'll come into, if you have a ticket into this area, you will either walk down this path and come into the building right here, or we have a VIP parking area that's going to be here and you'd be walking up into the building here. That's if you're in one of these suites. We're also going to continue to have all the suites that are over on the west side. And so you'll still access those suites the same way we have in the past through the ramps that are over here underneath the bleachers on the west side. One of the key things that is going to happen, with our fan base, we have an older fan base, and so our current configurations are ADA challenged in our stadium. This new building is going to be ADA Dream. It's going to have our elevators, it's going to have flat rolling surfaces, it's going to be really easy for anyone with any mobility issues to get around in this building, get access to food, get access to their seats, and enjoy a game experience that you can't do today sometimes in our suites that we currently are doing on the west side.
Thank you, Charlie. Now, this question is for Marie that came through our fans as well. How does this impact all of our sports, Marie, not just football and soccer that are there? And maybe you can speak to that training area as well.
Well, and I welcome the day when 25,000 seats isn't enough for us. Let me tell you, that'll be a really, really big day. Historically, we've had so much inventory, and unfortunately, we haven't had the fan base and support that we need, but that's changing. Things are changing. That's the good news. I think as Charlie said, the Spartan Athletics Complex is going to be a touch point facility. He mentioned the dining facility will serve all the students. There's a large sports medicine area that will service a number of the programs that are on South Campus. I think most of you know we sponsored 22 programs. 7 of them are located on main campus, and the remaining sports are on South Campus. Certainly, it's home for football, and if we're going to be competitive in the Mountain West, and our goal isn't to just win the 2020 Mountain West Championship. We want to compete every single year for Mountain West Championships or any of the championships of the conferences that we're in. And in order to do that, this building will be crucial, and not only for football, but also for the 2 soccer programs. But it's gonna have an impact on all of the programs. There was a question in the chat about academics. We would love to use that beautiful auditorium to teach some classes. Can you imagine a student coming and parking in the new parking structure on 10th Street and walking across and being able to go to their class and in our building, and as opposed to sometimes it can be a struggle finding parking and just, navigating main campus. We don't ever want to take away from the pulse of main campus, but as Charlie said, we want to be an extension to the main campus. And this building will be a very, very strong conduit for us.
Along that line, Marie, thank you, is the, kinesiology used to use those fields that I showed that old map. And, we had archery and we had all these different things going on. Now we have golf facilities and modern tennis facilities and, this new rec field that they'll be able to use. And the band is going to be able to use over across 10th Street. So yes, the academic programs are happening. Envision clearly in the spring semester that this auditorium should get used most nights. We do our MBA programs that we've been teaching up further up the peninsula. We're bringing them back onto campus, and clearly in the spring, that's an easy win to put them down there. They don't have to go into the main campus and hunt for parking. They'll be able to have plenty of parking on South Campus.
Well, Charlie, thank you so much for joining us. If you need to head out here, you can. We're going to shift gears to One Spartan Nation. So thanks again, Charlie, for being here and all you're doing
Thanks, guys.
for us.